Menneken University Library. I'd like to basically refresh your memory on how to search for books on art history in the Dominican University's library. It can be difficult to sometimes find art history books here, unfortunately, so I do want to cover that so that you can choose a topic and find enough resources for your paper. So first I'd like to go over how to get into the catalog. When you're at home, it will look differently than when you're at school. When you're at home, you can go to dom.edu and click on Library. However, when you're at school, you're going to open up the internet and it will go directly to campus news. What you have to do to find the library's webpage is go to Dominican A to Z and then click on L. And then you'll see Library, and we'll go directly to the Dominican webpage. So I do hear that you have an art history paper that you have to write for the end of the semester, and it has to be on artists. So I'm going to cover searching for artists. However, I'm just going to use my own example first. So one of the first basic things that you can do is to use a keyword of an artist's name. That will bring up books that are called monographs. Monographs are books that are just about one artist, as well as general art history books that have that artist in the book. One of my favorite artists is Yinka Shonibare. So I'm going to use that. You might not be familiar with him, but I absolutely love his work. He's actually a Nigerian born in England. So I'm going to first show you how an artist search works, and you can use a keyword and do a search for the artist's name. So what's wrong with this page? We don't have any books. So what do you think we need to do now that we don't have any books on Yinka Shonibare in Dominican's library?
Use iShare.
All right, we can use iShare. And would you like to explain what iShare is?
iShare is like a consortium of academic libraries at Dominican, and so let us borrow books that we put.
Right, so we can get books on interlibrary loan. So what you can do is see where it says Dominican catalog only, you can switch to all iShare libraries. And then you get a list of all the books at other libraries. So let's just choose this first one. He actually has a lot of catalogs available from all of his art exhibitions. And to borrow it, you can just click request this item, and it will come from Columbia College. Columbia College is a great art collection in their academic library. If you want to even just visit there, I highly recommend it. You can check out books by just going to their library if you want to get it right away, or you can wait for it to come in on interlibrary loan. So to do that, you press log in, and you log in using the same username and password you do to get into the computer at Dominican. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. And from here, you can then click request this item, choose pickup location, and then press request if you want to request it from Dominican. But if for some reason you live far away, I know some of you might even live out by Lake Zurich or might even live right near Columbia College, you can just click that location and say I live in the South Loop, so I can click to request it at Columbia College and visit the library there and pick it up there. What are some other things that you might want to do instead of just doing a search for an artist that you can't find information on?
Maybe search like the time period.
A time period, good.
The genre.
All right. Genre. So genre could be an art movement. Let's say we might want to do a search for African art. So that sounds like an art movement, but you can also do, instead of a genre or the art movement, you can look for a country and a culture. Does anyone know what art movement Yinke Shonebari's work would fit under? If you want to do a similar artist, but that's more well known than things. No? Okay, well that could be postmodern art. Or you might want to look for postmodernism. Or you could do African American art instead of an African British artist. And that would be under culture. Or another art movement that you might want to look for is modern art. Or another culture would just be American art. Or English art. Or British art. So these are a lot of different keywords that you can use while searching the catalog to choose a different artist. What you can do is do an advanced search and type in different keywords. So let's say, because I like Yinka Shonebari, I want to look for an African American artist instead of a British Nigerian artist because they're more common in America. So we're going to type in African American. And the next thing is to use more than one search term. You're going to use a Boolean operator. Does anyone know what Boolean operators are?
Yes, we all do.
Great. Yes.
They connect keywords or kind of like short phrases.
Great. And what are Boolean operators? What are the names of them?
And, or, not.
Great. You can choose them right here and just select and, or not. So let's just simply use and. So I want to not just look for African Americans, I'm going to look for African American art history. However, there could be a problem with this and something else might come up. We have the Harvard Guide to African American History. So that has nothing to do with art, and you're going to need to limit your search term to something else. You can put quotation marks around art history so that you look for just the phrase, and that will limit your search. But that only gets 3 books. So instead of looking for art history, you can try African American art. So with African American and art, you have 162 books in Dominican's library to choose from. And you can pick African American artists, that will be specifically about artists. And if you're interested in seeing what's in the book, and whether it's a good book for you, this one, if you click on more details, it will give you information that this is actually related to the National Museum of American Art at the Smithsonian's collection. Or if you want to find a different book to decide, you can look for a book by African American women as a term, and you can search for women if that interests you. So you should be able to quickly use some very basic search terms, just the word art, an artist's name, a country, a culture, and an art movement to narrow your search term, to look through books and find an artist to write about in Dominican's library through those basic search terms using Boolean operators. However, if you're still not happy with that, I would just like to pass around this flyer for you with some other collections. You can try the Ryerson and Burnham Library. at the Art Institute, they actually have 500,000 books on art history, and you cannot check those books out there because it's a non-circulating collection, but they will have books on any rare artist, including Yinka Shonibari, in many languages. So if you're really stumped, you can ask the librarians at the Art Institute and they'll be able to help you out. Does anyone have any questions?
If you have a Dominican ID, can anyone use the library at the Art Institute, or do you have to have a student ID?
Anyone can use the library at the Art Institute. They do have specific visiting days for visitors, and you can only visit the Art Institute's library once you have paid admission, or if sometimes they have free days, you can go on a free day, but you have to check with the library to see if it's open to visitors on that day. Does anyone have any other questions?